This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So
Good afternoon, sir.
today's topic is on rickettsial diseases. Okay, I have three classes for rickettsial diseases, and we'll be dealing with introduction and some of the important rickettsial diseases in the later two classes. This is the introduction class, and among the rickettsial diseases, the important ones include Q fever and epidemic typhus, scrub typhus, marine typhus, and also some rickettsial pox and trench fevers. These are some of the rickettsial diseases. Okay, coming to the rickettsial diseases, what does it mean? Rickettsial diseases. These are like these are a type of communicable diseases. Okay, which are caused by the rickettsial organisms. So there are different types of rickettsial organisms for every disease. For example, for epidemic typhus, there is a particular organism of rickettsial group. Okay, so there are different types of organisms. Are you able to see the screen, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So coming to the introduction, all these rickettsial organisms which are present, they need some of the vectors to transmit it to the human population. Okay, so they need some arthropod vectors. Okay, and in some place, some of the things, rats act as vectors, headlows act as vectors. Okay, and different vectors will be present to transmit these rickettsial organisms from a reservoir to a healthy human being. Okay, so all these, as I said before itself, rickettsial organisms cause communicable diseases. These some majority of these diseases which come under these rickettsial group are being gone underdiagnosed. The main reason is in all the rickettsial organisms, fever is common thing. Okay, so when fever is present, most of the times what will happen is they'll go for pyrexia of unknown origin. They'll treat it that way. They'll not. There is no particular treatment for rickettsial. Most of the time, it is going underdiagnosed. Okay, so how to recognize these rickettsial diseases from other diseases? We'll be coming in the later session. We'll be knowing about it. So in all the types of rickettsial diseases, acute febrile condition. Okay, acute febrile condition is is a common acute febrile condition is a common thing. Okay, so there are coming to the classification of the rickettsial diseases. There are three groups. Disease groups are of three types. One is typhus group, another one is spotted fever group, and another one includes others. So in typhus group, all the three types of typhus will be present: epidemic typhus, murine typhus, scrub typhus. Epidemic typhus is caused by Rickettsia provozasci, that is a rickettsial agent. And coming to the vector for this epidemic typhus is louse, which is a head louse, common head louse. Okay, all its feces will be feces will are the infected material. Because of head louse species, this Prowazowski will be transmitted to the healthy human beings and it causes epidemic typhus. Okay, so the main reservoirs in case of epidemic typhus is a infected human being. Okay, from one infected human being, it is being transmitted to other healthy human being. Okay, from the feces of head louse that includes which contains rickettsial provozas. One second, please. Hold. Can I just go? So the next one is in the same typhus group. Next one is murine typhus. In this, the agent is rickettsial typhi. The name of the agent is rickettsial typhi. Epidemic typhus is caused by Prowazowski. Murine typhus is caused by rickettsial typhi. See, this is if you observe this, you can write the whole I mean, if you get a question for 5 marks, you can write the whole of the rickettsial diseases portion. Okay, please uh, keep some attention for this table. Okay. And murine typhus, it is caused by rickettsial typhi, and the vector which is causing this transmitting is it's a flea. Okay, flea transmits it, and the reservoirs include rodents that are which include rats. Next one is scrub typhus. It is caused by rickettsial Susugamushi. Okay, Susugamushi is the agent which transmits scrub typhus, and the vector here is it is a mite, and it is from the it is the main reservoir here is again rodent. So all these three are typhus group. Another three are there in the spotted fever group. In spotted fever group, the name itself, in all these three types, the human being will be having some different types of rash. There will be spots over the face and all. That's why it got the name spotted fever group. Okay, I'll show you later. In this, the first one is Indian tick typhus, which is caused by rickettsial conuri, and here the vector is a tick. Okay, and the reservoirs are rodents and dogs. Whereas Rocky Mountain fever, the next one is Rocky Mountain fever. It's caused by rickettsial rickettsii. Insect vector is tick, and the mammalian reservoir is rodent and dogs. Again, same thing. Whereas coming to rickettsial pox, okay, in rickettsial pox, it is caused by rickettsial acari, and insect here is mite. Okay, it is from it is among the mice only. Okay, mice are the reservoirs here, and it will be transmitted from the mice to a new mite, and then it will be transmitted from the mites to the healthy human beings. Other things are Q fever and trench fever. Q fever is caused by Palmity burnetii, and here there is no vector. It is present among cattle, sheep, and goats. Whereas trench fever, this is called by Rochelmia quintana. This is the agent. Rochelmia quintana is the agent, and insect vector is a louse, and also humans are infected. Humans are the reservoirs here. So this is the classification. Please go through the classification. Okay. 1 second. Okay. Coming to the rickets, the morphology of these particular rickettsial organisms. Okay. These appear to be very small bacteria, and they appear as single or in pairs, or like filaments or like chains. And when you see them, they will be in the shape of rod or poker, as normal bacteria, rod shaped or poker shaped, brown one. And these are obligate intracellular parasites. What is meant by intracellular parasite? Ramya Sai. Oh, they all left. See, I'll be taking the attendance. You please don't leave. In the last, I'll be taking the attendance, and you should give the attendance. I should mark. Okay, please don't leave. Rule number 25. Can you please respond? Rule number 25. Rule number 25. Please respond. What are the different types of intracellular parasites? Anyone please answer this? Different types of intracellular parasites. What are the different types of intracellular parasites?
Endoparasite.
First one.
Obligate, facultative.
Good. Then facultative. What is the difference between obligate and facultative? What is facultative? What
Ob-
will yeah, tell me.
For the, in case of obligate intracellular parasites, it is necessary for the parasite to live so that it can continue its cycle.
Good. No. So it needs a host cell. Okay. For the parasite to grow, it needs a host cell. It cannot grow outside the host cell, whereas facultative parasites, they can grow either inside or outside. That is the difference. Facultative can grow outside the host cell or inside the host cell, whereas obligate, compulsory, they have to be inside the host cell for them to develop. And coming to when we see these particular parasite, these bacteria under James's stain, they appear blue under the microscope. Okay, and these particular rickettsial organisms, they grow inside the yolk sac and yolk sac of an egg. Okay, they grow inside the yolk sac of egg. And sulfonamides, what we call as sulfur drugs. All these sulfur drugs will increase the rickettsial growth. Remember this point: sulfonamides or sulfur group drugs will increase the rickettsial growth. So next one is the clinical features. So all the one more second. Clinical features. Here the clinical features include most of the time all the rickettsial diseases have fever. Every disease, what all we have spoken till now: epidemic typhus, murine typhus, scrub typhus, Indian tick typhus fever, Q fever, French fever. All these things will be having fever as common symptom. And next one is headache and malaise. All these three are common symptoms. Skin rash. Skin rash will be present in most of the fevers, but in case of Q fever, there will not be any skin lesion. No skin lesion will be observed in Q fever. And there will be an enlargement of spleen or liver. And in some cases, there will be retroorbital pain in some types of diseases. Okay. And prostration. Prostration is one of the most important clinical feature in case of these rickettsial organisms. Coming to the diagnostic procedures, first thing, we can isolate a particular parasite. Okay, from the blood sample, we can isolate a particular rickettsial parasite. That we can do for diagnosis. Other things how we can do is indirectly, we can do serological tests. Okay, which include ELISA and Well-Flix reaction and IFA, that is indirect fluorescence antibody test. And another one is complement fixation test. All these serological tests can be done. Apart from that, we can also isolate the particular organism from the particular blood sample. So only treatment is tetracycline drug. Okay, the drug of choice here is only tetracycline, which include doxycycline, minocycline, etc. Okay, so in case of doxycycline, minocycline, we can give a single long acting single dose. With this dose is very long acting. So these antibiotics can be used for rickettsial treatment. Okay. Among actually in the classification part, see all the 8 diseases. We'll be discussing all the 8 diseases. But for today's class, I have taken 2 topics. That is rickettsial pox. Another one is French fever. Later, other parts are a little big, so I'll take in the next class. Okay, so the rickettsial pox. So rickettsial pox, this is caused by this is present in the mice. Mice acts as a reservoir here. From this reservoir, some of the mites, okay, which are present over the mice, they act as a vector, and these mites, when they bite the human being who is a normal healthy human being, he will get infected. Okay, and also mice acts as reservoir, but in case of an infected vector, that is the mite, there occurs a transovarian transmission. That is, these uh, particular organisms will be transmitted to their offsprings also. Okay, transovarian offsprings also. For their offsprings also, this particular organism is transmitted. So sometimes you may get confused with this chicken pox and rickettsial pox. The difference is that there will be a spot. This is a spotted group, right? You can see the images here. they'll be little big. Okay, they sometimes will be get confused between rickettsial pox and the chicken pox, but these things are little big. You can see these things. Okay, next one is trench fever. This is the agent here is Ochelmia quintana, and the vector here is louse. It is transmitted by the pieces of the louse, and the main reservoir here, it doesn't reservoir is an infected human being. He is the reservoir. From there, from the particular human beings, infected human beings hair, these head louse will be present. Head louse will be acting as the material which is getting transmitted the Ochelmia quintana. Okay, but this trench fever is limited to Central Europe countries only, and symptoms include retroorbital pain, headache, and the rash will be over the trunk. In case of rickettsial pox, you can see over the face. Okay, but here in trench fever, the rash will be over the trunk, and same enlargement of spleen and liver will be present. Okay, joint pains will be present. So, in case of trench fever, the agent is Ruchelmia quintana. Okay, this is the end of today's class. As sir took class for 1.5 hours, I have cut short your class. So I'll ask questions for I'll ask just 5 questions. Rule number 29. Please don't leave. I'll be taking attendance in 10 minutes. Please don't leave. Rule number 29. Rule number 35. No one is present or what?
Sir, yes, sir. 35.
35. Okay. So trench fever. In case of trench fever, what is the transmitting agent?
Sir,
Particular transmitting substance. What is
Lungs. Love.
yeah, head loss? Head loss లో ఏ మెటీరియల్ అమ్మా? What will transmit it?
Pieces of head loss.
Yeah, pieces of head loss. Very good. Next one is so most of the rule number 45. Rule number 45. This is actually okay. I'll be taking your attendance now. Please give me your attendance. Rule number 1,
present, sir.
2, 4,
Present, sir.
3 present, sir.
3 present. Okay. 4 present.
4 present, sir.
Number 3 present, sir.
5
5.
present, sir. Present, sir. 5.
Number 6,
6 present, sir.
7,
Present, sir.
8,
Present, sir.
9,
9 present, sir.
10.
9 present, sir. 10 present,
Okay, 10.
sir. Present, sir.
11 present,
11.
sir.
Rule number 11.
11 present, sir. 11 present, sir. 11 present, sir.
12.
12 present, sir.
13.
13 present, sir. Present, sir. 13.
Okay, 14. 15. 16. Rule number 16. 17. Rule number 17. 18,
19 present, sir.
20, 21,
21 present, sir.
22,
Present, sir. 22 present,
23,
sir.
23 present, sir. 23 present, sir.
24,
24 present, sir.
25,
25 present, sir.
20 present, sir.
Sir, 20
26,
present, sir. 25 present, sir.
20 అయిపోయిందమ్మా నీకు ఇందాక చెప్పినా ఏం చేసావు 26 రూల్ నెంబర్ 26
Sir, mic problem, sir.
26 rule number 26
Sir, roll number 2 present, sir.
rule number 2 present ఇందాకంటే ఏం చేసావు
Connection problem, sir.
connection problem ఓకే
Sir, 53 present, sir.
मैं ఇంకా కవర్ రావాలి నేను 26 దగ్గర ఉన్నా 26 రూల్ నెంబర్ 26 27 please hold on I'll just take your attendance can you send your attendance by this chart I think you send it by chart okay thank you I'm closing this share please give your attendance in the chart within 5 minutes okay thank you